You're wearing a dive watch with a suit.
Yeah.
What's this? You'll hear people say, "Oh, you don't wear a dive watch with a suit." Oh,
Right.
What's your take on that? I feel like I know what your
Okay.
answer is going to be.
Yeah, I don't
But
care
what's
what
your
people think, right? Ever,
yeah?
ever. And also, I tell them I'm the business.
Right.
My take is, as long as it works,
Yeah.
do it.
What's up, guys? Thomas here from Analog Shift, and today I'm joined by DeCarlos Morse. DeCarlos, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Thank you for
you?
taking I'm doing fine.
Good.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. We are sitting in a very beautiful space here in the heart of Jersey City. It just seems like it can only take you a second to understand that you have a proclivity for collecting beautiful vintage things. But before we get into that, can you talk more about what is DeCarlos Bespoke?
It's a 20-year-old business.
Okay. Okay.
And still learning.
Right.
It's a place where you come and you get measured for a custom suit.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Right.
And we focus on mainly men of discerning taste.
Okay. Very
put it
cool.
that way.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell. I mean, you
Yeah.
just have an awesome suit on right now. It's a beautiful silhouette. So let's kind of go back to where it all started here. How did DeCarlos Bespoke start? The idea of DeCarlos Bespoke.
So basically, I had a passion and love for just clothing
Right.
as a teenager. And I guess the long short is it found me.
Okay.
Because once I realized clothes didn't fit in my, say, 20s, after college or whatever, I was like, how do I make it fit better? Do I tape it? Do I staple it? Do I pin it? What do I do?
Right.
My dad made suits, so I had an idea, honestly. Not as a profession, he just had that. He knew how to build suits from scratch for his job as a banker. For me, it found me later in life, and it really got into me. I started out selling suits, sweeping floors, basically, selling suits, hanging around tailors at the age of, this is probably in my young 20s. Yeah, and it just found me.
So prior to getting into the business and the industry, you already knew that you wanted to do something like this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I did. I went, worked for a bank for a few years.
Yeah.
Thought I had to go down that route. My dad was in banking when I was a kid, at least. And I thought that's the right route I had to go. So I spent 2 years or 3 years in, working at a bank. The manager of the bank was, I love putting on a suit every day.
Right.
I noticed he had a very nice style. And he goes like, "Hey, Carlos, where do you getting your suits?" And I was like, at that time I was working at Breeches of Georgetown, another old world, no longer around, but was a heritage brand back in the old days. Moonlighting, basically, at nights and weekends,
Right.
selling suits and learning how to fix them and alter them and things like that. He goes, I was like, Breeches of Georgetown.
Right.
And he was familiar. So, we vibed. So every day I knew that I could wear the fun things to work because he did. It wasn't just in the South. You can get away with seersucker suits.
Right.
And I did.
Yeah. And then prior to working for Breeches of Georgetown?
Yeah, Breeches
Of Georgetown.
Yeah.
You were working for Kuppenheimer? Kuppenheimer.
Yeah, you did the research. That's going back. That's North Carolina. That's in Winston-Salem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So that selling suits and also hanging out with the tailor.
Right.
Back there,
Right. And then fast forward, you started to work for Alfred Dunhill, correct?
Yeah, I was.
Which is a storied brand in their own right.
To say the least, it's the brand's still around.
Right.
It's again another heritage brand. It's been around, I don't know, a couple hundred years. And so again, I took a leap of faith, came up to New York, and I was like, these guys are never going to hire me, but I'm going to try. And I got in, and I was blessed, very lucky.
Yeah,
And I stayed there for over 5 years, 6 years, or something like that.
right,
So a long time.
right.
So when Dunhill ended, I looked at myself and I said, okay, so what would be my next move? Like, where else could I go? The next move was to just do it on my own. Just go out and just, again, the leap of faith, and
Right.
see what happens.
Right. And you said over
Yeah.
20 years now.
It's going to be 20. So
2004. Right?
yes, 2004 is sort of when I started business. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you started with the Monument Ave suit,
The Monument Avenue blue suit. We call it the blue suit.
which is a tribute to a street
Yeah,
from where you
it
grew up,
is.
right?
It's a famous street, Monument Avenue in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
So I live downtown in that area. We call it the Fan. And I had a dog, Dalmatian, and
Okay.
we would walk up and down Monument Avenue
Awesome.
early in the mornings, late at night. And the homes were from everything from like mansions to one-bedroom apartments, but
Right.
beautiful. It's just beautiful and lined with monuments.
And what I love about this suit is that there is an obvious blend of modern and classic
Sure.
design cues. And the one thing I just can't help but notice is the wider lapels.
Yeah, my design aesthetic is strictly from my upbringing and what I would see on Sunday mornings going to church, or just on any given Sunday down there in Virginia where folks would just be out for dinner. What I saw in the 70s, in the 80s, was just like wider lapels. And these lapels are incredible. And then we can fast forward, and I started designing and started sketching things. I was like, why am I making these doggone lapels so big in here? No one's gonna like it. And I thought to myself also, screw everybody else. I'm going to show them that it's approachable. It can be done and it can be worn in any setting. So I do gravitate towards a larger lapel, especially personally for myself and for my own personal taste. But for customers, in custom, I scale it for them when they don't know what they want. Obviously, we bring it down a notch.
Right.
Literally, not to pun intended, notch
Right.
lapel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I see where you were going there. And then again, you just throw in some of the modern touches, right?
Yeah, well, I do, but they're not so modern if you know your history of suits.
Okay.
What I'm also passionate about is making sure we keep things, the aesthetic of suits and suit making authentic and real. And some of the stuff is just original to suits. Ticket pockets are not anything, you started to see ticket pockets, which is the third pocket on the right side of the
Right.
jacket. You started seeing them off the peg, but it's because, it became mainstream now. But it's more of a bespoke feature.
Right.
An old detail.
Right.
So, but it seems modern.
Right.
Because it was lost for so long. But that's why we're here to bring this stuff back.
Yeah. Speaking of something old and bringing things back,
yeah.
you have, again, a lovely space here.
Thank you.
There's just so many cool vintage objects.
Thanks.
What was the journey and what was the kind of the process here with designing your own studio and workshop?
That goes back.
Right.
I started collecting about 13 years old. So smalls.
Right. Different objects.
Different things.
Okay.
Like they speak to me because they're old world. And
Okay.
I feel like I see what's well made. I know if it is or if it isn't from a distance. And
Yeah.
so my mother would give me gifts. She bought me this men's vanity. I still have it. I was probably 14 or something, 15. I don't know, young. And that's where you come home. The gentleman takes off his jacket. He hangs it on the hanger on the vanity.
Right.
And, he lays his cufflinks on his tray, his watch, his timepiece. It's got the little bar, you hang your tie. And when my mom got me that, I was like, damn,
That's it.
this is it.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
it. I still have that piece, and like everything I started out with, collected at 13, I still have everything.
Really.
Yeah.
Objects have a soul. And I feel like these things
Have a story.
exactly
Sure.
they have a story
Yes.
and they live on through our use.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. And I always think like, okay, who will I leave this to?
Yeah.
Because it's going to outlive us. And also I say the same thing with some of the fabrics and some of the suits I make. It's like, I want it to, make it and pass it on.
Right.
Even watches, yeah.
Right.
But,
Yes.
like, you know.
Speaking of which, we have an array of vintage
Yes.
timepieces here.
Yes.
What do you say? Do you want to talk about some watches?
Let's talk watch.
Let's do it. Let's do
watches.
it. You know, I feel like the appropriate one to start off with is part of your career history, right? With Alfred Dunhill, right?
Yes.
So you have a pretty awesome Art Deco Dunhill
Art Deco
piece here, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
purchased from the company back in, I want to say 2000, 2001. Yep. And I used this piece mainly. I changed the band. I also had the original band to it, which is red. Came with the red one. And this is my pretty much one of my dress watches,
Right.
as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
I feel like that's a cool piece to have, considering that the name on the dial is a
It
reminder,
reminds me.
right, of your connection with Alfred Dunhill and your time there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was, 5 years of a learning experience and great memories. So I had to get something.
That's an awesome piece.
Thank you.
And, I feel like these types of watches in general are making their own comeback in a way.
Okay.
Smaller watches, more Art Deco style timepieces.
Oh, right.
And I feel like this is a great balance. You've got the brigade hands, you've got the
Right.
concave sapphire crystal.
Yep.
It's pretty awesome, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a cool piece.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And then moving on, you have a pretty cool Omega Seamaster. Care to talk about this one, man?
Yeah. I rock it with jeans.
Okay.
It needs a little TLC,
Right.
but I do when it's functioning. It's like one of my casual way to go when I'm wearing like jeans and sneakers. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I've had that only for about 8 years.
Okay.
9 years. This is from 1973.
Yeah. What was it about that watch that had you gravitate towards it?
A lot of, like with anything I get, just something that has to just hit me. Honestly, you want to know what it is about that watch?
What is it?
It was just the peak of orange.
Yeah. Okay.
That was it.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a nice vintage Omega, but that did it.
Yeah. And the fact that the orange hand isn't shaped like a plane, that didn't get you. It was just the color orange.
color.
Yeah. Yeah.
No attachments to aviation. Just orange.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting
Well,
about
my
this.
company color, is
No. Yeah.
is brown and orange. So I like
Okay.
I gravitate to things that would keep me focused and keep me always thinking about my business. It reminds me, okay, stay on track.
Right.
Work hard.
Keep the blinders on.
Keep it on.
Yeah.
And so I pretty much wear a peak of orange or brown or something every day.
Just from afar, you don't even, it doesn't read as a Seamaster. It kind of reads like a
Good.
Speedmaster. It was kind of confusing to me when I first looked at this watch. So this is a reference 176.007, and again, it's got the subdial at 6.
Yeah.
It's got the subdial at 9 o'clock. It's got that orange tipped chronograph seconds hand.
Yes, it does.
And then a date window at 3, and then complemented by this
love
this
the
great bracelet.
Yeah.
So nothing beats these bracelets from the 70s. They really got it right with the tapering,
Agreed.
right?
Yeah.
And again, someone who does tailoring,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it works.
The
The tapering
proportional, right? The
Yeah.
proportionality has to be right. Let's go into that one. So that's a
Old Timex.
yeah,
Yes. Like I would have this on today.
yeah,
I
yeah,
would wear this like today
yeah.
with something like this.
What is it about the gold on gold?
I've honestly worn this as black tie before too.
Okay.
Even with this band.
Yeah.
I know. I just love the date on it. I love it's smooth. There's no numbers. It's just what do you call it when it's just the bars there, no numbers.
Oh yeah,
It's just bars.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're just
I love how simple it
markers.
is.
Right. Yeah.
It is, and
Right.
and I like Timex.
Yeah. No, they're awesome, and I really do dig these ones. And the fact that this is one of the older examples is pretty awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
very
you.
cool. Where do you want to hop to next? What watch do you want to talk about?
We can go here.
Okay.
Why not? This is
Yeah.
the Monaco
Right.
one I purchased also back in probably '99, whenever it first came out. Was it '99 or
Roughly.
Right
Yeah,
there,
maybe they're. I
2000.
mean that the Monaco
the
itself.
re-release?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's yeah. Yeah, the Monaco itself is harkens back to the 1970s.
Yeah,
But yeah, so
absolutely.
yeah, that one is a reissue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was a gift to myself again. Like I don't do a lot of gifting to myself, like but it was a milestone moment, and I said, let me go and get it.
Right.
And
What was the milestone?
it was a Dunhill thing.
Okay.
When I pretty much got the job.
Okay.
So it was 99 probably. So look at that,
Yeah.
the beginning and the end of Dunhill.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And then my brother, he was a watch guy. He kind of toys with making watch straps and other leather goods. He added this one, and I'm going to change it because I don't like it
Yeah.
for this watch.
Right.
You know.
It's a testament to kind of how versatile that watch is, right? You could throw a perforated leather strap on
Yeah.
that watch, it makes it look sporty.
Yeah, I've seen.
And then now it's on this thick, right, distressed leather strap,
Right.
and it kind of has its own vibe as well.
Take on his own look there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I've seen it done many ways, and I've been once I have this cleaned up and fixed again. We're just going to swap that band out.
For sure.
You know.
As far as marking momentous occasions with the watch, was that something that you knew you always wanted to do, or it was just during your journey through?
I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
I didn't do it often.
Right.
That was it. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
The beginning and the Dunhill. I don't know why. It just happened that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because I can't think of any other timepiece I did that with, except for I'm going to get something soon, and
Yeah.
for a good reason, you know.
Right.
That
For sure.
reason I keep to myself, but yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
Let's talk about that one that you have on your wrist.
And so this is Tudor.
Tudor, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I'll take it off just so you can see
Yeah.
it closer.
Again, another watch that is left of center.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like we're starting to see a theme here, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you definitely are bucking the trend, right? You don't have the quintessential Seamaster. You've
won't.
got the square-ish Monaco,
Yeah.
and then you don't have a Tudor sub. It's a Tudor Prince Oyster Date. You have the integrated bracelet.
I do.
Yeah. And it's definitely a funky diver at that.
It is blue and blue. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. 1973. And this is my daily.
Right.
Just,
It's a fun daily.
It's a daily.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back to your point. Yeah, I don't think I find myself going out buying Black Bay
Right.
or anything so fast right now. I give it some time, maybe 10,
Yeah,
12, 15 years.
Right. Let it breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then see what happens.
Right.
See where they are.
Yeah.
But
What
this
is it about that watch?
This one, I mean, honestly, it's just my most comfortable watch.
Okay.
There it is.
Yeah.
Just lays on my skinny wrist perfectly. Honestly, and it doesn't draw a lot of attention, which is really nice. I think it's understated, and it fits my personality. That's it.
Right. And it doesn't look like your down the middle Tudor.
No, it doesn't, right?
Right. And that bracelet, it's
bracelet says
a
it all.
9585 integrated H-link bracelet. Yeah, and it's a rarity within the Tudor catalog.
Yes.
And just to see that out in the wild, I feel like I have not
Okay.
at all.
right.
And the fact that you have it on your wrist is
That's
pretty
good to
cool.
know. I
Yeah,
like that.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the guys that know, know.
Exactly.
And same when I would wear this, they just draw their attention. So
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Yeah. You're wearing a dive watch with a suit.
Yeah.
What's this? There's this kind of. You'll hear people say, "Oh, you don't wear a dive watch with a suit." Oh,
Right.
What's your take on that? I feel like I know what your
okay.
answer is going to be.
Yeah, I
but
don't care
what's
what
your-
people think, right? Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And also, I tell them mind their business.
Right.
My take is, as long as it works,
Yeah.
do it. Like
Right.
it completely with the suit. It works just fine. You know.
Yeah.
And this is a casual. It works just fine. Okay.
Yeah.
But that is my thing. It's just like, hey, you do what makes you happy in terms of anything.
Right.
I'm going to wear a timepiece with shorts, a suit, or tuxedo. It could be a dress watch, and I'll wear it with shorts.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It just seems like these watches that you have are an extension
Yeah.
of your style choices and the stuff that you choose to wear and the objects you decide to
Yeah.
surround yourself with. Would you say that's true?
For me personally, it's a thing.
Yeah.
I tell myself, everything matters. Like every single thing, not just clothing, watches. I just and you know, I think about the details of like I see the details in a lot of things I'm probably not supposed to see the detail in. I do, and I think that's like everything matters. Like you know, I love old things because they were well made, like we talked about. It matters to me.
Yeah.
I
It's a
don't have to
gift and a
replace.
curse, right?
It's a gift and a curse. At least I don't have to replace it every year.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about this
Yeah. Which one?
funky Whittenauer that we have here. Very similar to the Tudor,
Yeah.
right? Why don't you talk about this guy?
Oh, my Whittenauer, this guy.
Yeah.
Yes. Same way I approach my Tudor.
Right.
I mean, it's got the most comfortable band bracelet on it. This piece I've had for a very long time now. This is also, I want to say, 1973.
Yeah. Yeah. 70s.
70s,
Yeah.
somewhere there.
Yep.
My brother had heard of Whittenauer. I had not at the time when I got this. He was with me. He said, if you don't get it, I'm getting it.
Right.
Well, that was it. I jumped right on it.
Right.
And, you know, the orange doesn't hurt. I'm just
No.
saying.
You got to have some orange.
I'm just saying, you guys like this guy's not into watches.
Yeah.
I'm into him. I don't know, you know, I don't know
Right.
an awful lot about him, just to be honest. But it's a functioning watch. I love it. Works very well. Ticks nicely. And it's old fashioned.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you had mentioned to me that this was or is your vacation watch, right?
Yeah. That's gone on vacation.
Right.
Yeah. I use it to pretty much all my vacations.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can't beat a solid diver, right?
Yeah, no, you can't.
You know, usually when you're going on vacation, there's got to be a body of water nearby, right?
Exactly.
That if you're doing vacation
If you're doing it
properly.
you're doing it right.
Right.
You don't have to take it off. You did.
Right. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
This is a great piece.
Aesthetically, it's like incredible. I
Yeah.
love the way it looks, honestly.
Yeah.
Uh,
And it's kind of weird because it's got this
it's very square.
squarish case, right? And then obviously the round dial just fits right into the middle. And it's so thin. When you think about Whittenauer, which is another storied watchmaking brand, American brand.
American brand, yeah.
Yeah, and you don't think about this.
Yeah, because you know you don't think it's because it's sexy.
Right. Right.
Sexy watch.
No, it is.
No,
It's yeah.
Europeans don't think Americans are so sexy.
No. No.
You know.
Right. No, for sure. For
It's a
sure.
sexy watch. I
Yeah.
love it.
It's got a great silhouette.
Thank you.
And I'm a bracelet guy, so I'll just nerd out about
So
these
you
types.
gravitate towards bracelets.
Yeah,
most of the time?
yeah, for sure, for sure. I definitely love a watch with a good bracelet, and I think that the taper has to be right.
Yeah,
And
okay.
just we were seeing a lot of parallels here,
Okay.
right,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
tailoring, right?
Yeah,
And I think
absolutely.
a lot of the bracelet and the taper, it changes the way that the watch wears and looks on your wrist, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Much like a nicely tailored pair of pants or a jacket.
It's true.
Right? It's all about how it drapes, how it falls.
Right.
You know more than I do. So.
That part, yes.
Right.
You know more, and that's good to hear you say that.
Right.
And that's honestly that makes sense. Why I can lean in on these because it feels good when it's on
Right.
on my wrist. At least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Can you talk more about? I mean, you have a couple swatches here. What is it about these pair of swatches that had you gravitate towards them?
I have more too, but I think they're very functional. This is easy.
Yeah.
You know, they're fun to look at, fun on the eye. I mean, they're easy to wear basically. I love the skin. These are these little thin guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is actually, this one is, I think I got this from my little lady.
Okay.
I took it by accident.
Yeah.
It's probably her watch.
Would you wear that? Would you still wear that?
100%.
Right.
I probably have already once.
Yeah.
I can see that she hasn't much, but
Well,
yeah, but
you
I
would have had us fooled if you said it was part of your collection,
yeah.
right? Because it still falls in line
falls
to what
in.
you have
I mean,
here.
I have this skin here, and as you can see, I've worn this thing out. I need a battery in it, and replace the band, but and I've worn it a lot. And every time I wear this, I get I get so many questions about this one, and I was like, well, go to the city,
Right.
Go to Swatch, and they're gonna have it.
You can't beat
Not
it.
this one, but skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have quite a few Swatch. I just love it. I think it's very approachable in terms of price point.
Exactly.
And the fun.
Yeah.
You know, they're just fun to wear.
Yeah. Those types of swatches, they're palate cleansers.
Yeah.
You know, it's when when you're just kind of tired of wearing the same old thing, or you have your rotation of watches, you throw that on.
Yeah.
When you just kind of want a refresh.
I like that. I like that you said that because
Yeah.
I have some Casios that I look at that way.
Exactly.
I think
Yeah.
if I put it on and I'm just like, I
Yeah.
just need a break from all this
Right.
like, stuff, and then boom,
Right.
brings you back down to like,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just helpful to just put something on and
Yeah.
not think about it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then afterwards you go back and just like, okay, I'm
It's
ready.
like you're wearing a
Yeah.
new watch again.
Right.
You put that same one you wear all.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, I
Yeah.
missed you so much.
Exactly. Well, that's the reason why you should own more than a few watches.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's why I'll be coming to see you.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So again, you have an eclectic collection of watches here.
Yeah.
What would you say is your approach to collecting, whether it's watches and beyond?
Well, I don't know if I really have an approach. I think this is my personality of just something off the beaten path. I'm a suit guy, right? I'm in suits a lot, but I mean, not always. You know, I'm in linen trousers and so on. So I feel like I buy watches based on like almost wardrobe. You know?
Yeah.
It was more about how I feel that day. And I'm pretty much like, I don't think about much. If I see it, I like it, I'm gonna buy it. So I probably walked in the Swatch and saw it and say, take it. Or I did definitely with this and all of these.
Yeah.
Just get it.
Yeah.
I probably had on something that
So,
day.
and again, just going back to
Yeah.
just wearing that Tudor with the get up that you have on right now.
Right.
And again, it's so left of center that it works, right? Weird that
That's
it works.
what I said.
Yeah.
As long as it works.
Right.
And it works for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not thinking about others. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, it works for me.
Right.
And that's it.
And watches plays a role in your day-to-day operations here at DeCarlos Bespoke,
I make it play a role.
right?
Because I do fittings on now. I find myself in the sort of in the wedding business. So like I make suits for guys for their big day. When we're doing the fitting and I get down to asking some questions about like some details, you know, are you right-handed? Are you left-handed? Or what side do you wear your watch on? And they go, I don't wear a watch. And I take offense.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't wear a watch. I was like, well, will you wear one that day? Because I think you should, you know. A lot of them, they will go out. And by the time we do a first fitting or the last fitting or something, they'll bring it in, let me see it, or
Yeah.
later on. Sometimes I mess up because then the new wife will buy them a watch as a gift.
Yeah.
And then they have two watches.
Right.
You know, so
There's nothing wrong with that.
nothing wrong with it.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like a conversation almost every time I'm doing a fitting. Watch.
Right.
Or they'll walk in with a beautiful timepiece
Right.
and we'll strike up discussion.
For sure. And on that note,
Yeah.
it just seems like people are an integral part of your business, right? And it's not it's about the suits, right? The suit has to fit, and your client has to like the suit, but it's more than that, right? And I feel like through these relationships, friendships are formed,
Big time.
right? And it's all about the people.
It is.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm not taking on every person that comes in and say, I want a custom suit from you. We meet, we talk, we have a conversation. I want to get to know you. You got to get to know me. I'm the man that's going to be taking your money, so let's get to know each other. I'm going to design a suit. But sometimes we'll end the conversation and not even see each other because I don't see a good fit. And for me, and sometimes it's
Other way around.
Other way around.
Right.
So it has to feel good. But you come in and we maybe pour bourbon or scotch or something, even gin.
Yeah.
So and then have a discussion first. And I love talking to people and just find out more about them. And I find that a lot of my clients are like-minded folks, like really vibe on so many levels. We would do this thing called bourbon sharing event every year before COVID, and it was just like guys go home, bring your favorite bottle of bourbon, and it was just turned into a big event. Probably in the beginning, maybe 30, 40 people, and then it turned to a couple hundred.
Yeah.
These guys would come in, talk about watches, talk about suits, talk about so many different things, cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love how it's just fostering a community. It's fostering a place for people to come and share their like-minded interests,
Right.
right? Whether
Yeah,
it be
you learn a lot.
watches, whether it be suiting, whether it be cars.
Yep.
I think it's so important to kind of raise the awareness of the things that we're passionate about.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
learn a lot from others too,
yeah.
you know.
Your taste for vintage extends beyond watches and these objects that you have here in your shop.
Yeah.
You've got a beautiful car out there.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah,
wanna
thank you.
you wanna talk about cars for a little bit?
Yeah, we talk cars.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let's do
So
it.
you've got a tidy Alpha out there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's my summer ride.
Okay.
And it's the Alfa Romeo Spider 2000
Beautiful.
injection. Thank you. Thank
Beautiful
you.
car, man.
1984.
Yeah.
And I have a collection of cars.
Right.
So,
What else do you have in the stable?
I have a Volvo wagon.
Right. 200 series,
I
right?
had a 240.
240.
I
Right.
had the wagon, and I also have the sedan, the blue sedan, the Scotia. We call her Scotia.
Okay.
That's the sedan.
Right.
And those are fun, just really weekenders.
Yeah.
You know?
We're big fans of the 240, by the way. This past holiday season, we've sourced a bunch of these small 240 toy Volvo wagons.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. They used to be gifts from the dealer back in the day,
Yeah, yeah.
and we've sourced those as like holiday gifts and whatnot. So big fans of the
Oh,
Volvo
man.
240. Yeah,
As you should. So that car is something else. So
Yeah.
going on about the 240.
Right.
I mean, I've had them in my family, and I'm sure you have. So many people have. So it's like my old Singer machine in the window that I have there. It's like
Right.
they'll walk by, someone will stop and look at it, and they go tearing up. That reminds me of my grandmother
Yeah.
or someone like that, my mother. And it's like the Volvo. It's like you always remember an uncle, aunt, grandmother,
Right.
grandfather
Right.
pushing you around in one of those things.
For
So
sure.
I have a couple of those. I
Yeah.
have 3 Volvos, and we love all of them for different reasons.
Yeah, yeah, and they all get their turn.
They get that turn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For people that maybe they want to get into bespoke suits, or they're looking at a vintage watch, right? Like,
Okay.
what sort of advice do you have for people that are just kind of, they need that little
Yeah.
guidance and direction?
Just to throw this out, my best friend, my brother, and my best friend, they went out and they bought this Seiko. I forgot which one. My best friend got it first. My brother got it second. And they were like, "Okay, DeCarlos, go get that Seiko." I was like, "You guys out of your mind? I'm not going to get that Seiko. You got it. You both have it. I'm not getting that right now.
Right.
It's too new."
Yeah, right.
I just think it's a feeling. Like go,
Yeah.
when you feel, and it's by chance. Like I'm not gonna go out looking for something. I just wanted to come just by chance. Just find it. If I see it, like I said, if I like it enough, I just get it. But like I'm not going out of my way. So my advice to most is be like, hey, let it come to you. Whether it's a timepiece, a partner, or whatever. Don't force it.
Right.
Yeah,
for sure.
let it come together on its own.
sure.
They can't tell me to go out and get the Seiko because they got it.
Yeah,
It was the reason I didn't get it.
right. For sure.
I wanted that thing because
Yeah.
my brother had it, but it's like I just don't roll like that. You
Yeah,
guys got it. So,
definitely.
yeah.
And what about just the idea of pursuing your passion? Just to kind of bring it full circle
passion
here.
is a real thing for me, and it's a real discussion to have with like the youth and so on. So I could have looked at passion is something that I think about all the time, and every time I look at something orange or brown, I think about my passion. My passion is this world, of collecting, not for any other reason than what I like to see daily, and passion in terms of making suits and custom suits. And so if I didn't find my passion, which I did very young, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would be miserable in a bank somewhere. I feel like, but
Yeah.
I think you should take, like, if you have an interest in something, take it serious. Like, you got to really focus in and see if you want to, because I had no idea how I was going to make what I wanted to do work. I was like, well, I don't want to be in the bank, so I got to figure out like how to make the suit thing work. Coming from the south in the country down in Virginia, like no one's up here a designer down there really. Like how do I? And so I just found the passion. I figured it out, stay with it, and then that's what happened to me. That when I was done with Dunhill, I was like, okay, my next natural move is to do my own thing.
Right.
And I was scared to death. So it just made it work. So my thing, if I had any advice, would be like, explore your passion for real.
And hopefully it
Well,
it transpires into a beautiful
yeah,
space like this, right?
thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, I feel like I have so much more to learn, but and I'm not looking for to scale bigger. I don't want. It's not what I'm saying. Like it's just, passions. I don't think it ends with just when you think it does. It's in a small business, obviously. It's always work in progress, and
Right.
I'm still learning. I'm still learning every day how to do something with a suit or jacket, trouser.
Well, I feel like we can all take a page out of your book and learn a little bit from you.
Thank you.
You, once again, you have an incredible space, and I feel like you're doing awesome things
Thank you.
with your bespoke suiting and also just, again, fostering community. I just want to thank you for spending some time with us today.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate this time with you guys. And thanks even considering me for this interview. And
Of course.
yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of
It's been
course.
nice, and I'm learning a lot from you.
Yeah, well, we can all learn from each other. We
Yeah.
gotta get you in the analog shift office one of these
Coming in
days.
soon, I
Yeah,
promise.
there you go. For sure.
I am.
You heard it here first, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean
all
it.
right. Yeah, for sure. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, likewise, man.